I'm referring to how kids are spending hours. The vast amount of entertainment and media that can be accessed at home unfortunately eliminates the desire of many to leave the house and experience the world. People who struggle with this may have nature deficit disorder. Nature deficit disorder is the idea that human beings, especially children, are spending less time outdoors, and the belief that this change results in a wide range of behavioral problems. Some effects of nature deficit disorder include anxiety, depression, obesity, attention deficit disorders, and possibly vitamin D deficiency. Nature deficit disorder is a very easy thing to avoid. However, if we ignore the fact that it exists, humanity could face serious consequences in the future. For example, we expect future generations to combat, or how can we expect future generations to combat global issues such as climate change when they have not developed a real connection to nature, and they won't understand the importance of their loss. So next time you have some free time, just go on a hike or explore someplace new. Thank you.
What's up? Oh, thank you. Testing, 1, 2, 3. All right, guys. Today I'd like to talk to you about the U.S. college systems and its inequities due to the wealth advantage. So, as a high school senior who has just committed to college, I've done more than my fair share of high school research. I've weighed countless options, and I've tirelessly debated with myself about where I want to spend the next 4 years of my life. With that being said, Ms. Sennett, the last 2 years of my life have been less than pleasant, but they have been eye-opening into the whole college marketing, sales, the admissions process, and what I like to call the equity facade. So I took the PSAT my sophomore year for the first time, and my first pass at the SAT my junior year. Shortly after, college brochures started showing up at my house, getting bigger and fancier as time went on. Additionally, my emails became inundated with college letters, all claiming to be the perfect fit for me. Fast forward to 2019, and the recent college admission scandals where parents are bribing test proctors and collegiate-level coaches in addition to creating fabricated athletic profiles for their kids, all in the hopes of getting them into America's most elite schools. And this is what really got me thinking about our colleges, how they work, and really, who has access to attend the most elite colleges. And so I present to all of you. Next. Got it. The 4 gatekeepers to admissions. We have standardized tests, school advantage, extracurriculars, and parent connections and donations. So first, let's talk about the standardized tests, particularly the SAT and ACT. Now, these tests skew in favor of the wealthy. Numerous studies have been made. This is not because students from wealth are more intelligent, because they have more opportunities and more resources. And that's what wealth is, my friends. Wealth is opportunity. For example, being able to afford a private tutor, or having the time and money to garner numerous test retakes. With this tailored help, the scales are obviously tilted in favor of the wealthy, tilted by money. Let's talk about the second point, school advantage. Now let's face it, not all schools are equal. Wealth can buy you access to a fancy private high school or even a public high school in a wealthier neighborhood. These in turn give you a greater advantage when applying to college because colleges frequently tout the average GPA of their freshman class. It's generally above a 4.0. With that being said, AP classes are more important than ever before because that's the only way to get your GPA above a 4.0. So if AP classes are more important than ever before, but wealthier and generally more affluent high schools offer more AP classes than others, that's a big problem. If some people can take more APs, they have more options, they have more offered to them than others. That happens. Additionally, some high schools, their counselors have smaller caseloads. They have less students. They can tailor a 4-year high school experience for their kids. They have in-house private tutors to make sure that their kids win the GPA game. And that is why there's school advantage as one of the gatekeepers to admissions. Let's move on to the third point. Extracurriculars, primarily sports, music, and community service. All 3 of these require access to a car. That's a privilege and already an advantage that some don't have. Let's talk about sports. If you are an athlete, you've probably been doing your sport prior to high school. That means you've been in a club sports team or you've had a private coach. The same is true for music. If you're a musician, you've definitely had an endless stream of private lessons. So now in both instances, there's a wealth advantage. These extracurriculars are more like extra points. Extra points with a price tag. Let's talk about point number 4. The previously mentioned admissions scandal, where they're bribing test proctors and coaches, shines light upon the legal practice of parent donations. It is legal to donate to a school. It is legal to fund a program or a building. And this paves an easier path towards their child's admittance. Who's going to say no to the kid whose daddy paid for the new multi-million-dollar science hall? Nobody in the right mind, that's who. And so, as much as we might like to view education and higher education as the great equalizers that lead to upward social mobility, we must stop, think, and realize that while this may be true, the system is systematically not equal for all. And so, folks, this isn't the 4 gatekeepers of admissions, but the equity facade. Thank you.
I can just move this off, right? Yeah. We've all been alive for a while. We all hear things, see things, smell things, feel things, and forget things. On average, people forget around 4 things a day, although that number can vary. Needless to say, we all forget a lot. Hell, lots of events we don't even remember because we don't even pay attention. So just imagine, you've lived for a while, forgotten whole swaths of time. So has everyone else. And just imagine one day that everyone forgot. Yes, there is a day that you and you and you and I and all of us have collectively forgotten. It no longer exists in our minds. Your mother, your father, your best friend, your peers, everyone you passed walking down the street completely forgot this day. You don't remember what happened. Events just lost to the mind. We can never know if anything was important about that day because we've all forgotten it. We don't know which day it is either because there's so many other days we forget. That day right after, you might remember. He doesn't. So we don't remember which day we've forgotten, but we have forgotten it. And you can bet your damn ass about that. And, you think that this day you've forgotten has no more purpose because, well, you can't remember it. Nothing important could have happened. But that's not true. That day set up the day after that, and so on and so forth. Everything is important, and think of it that way. Thank you. I'm Xavier Marin. This is my TED Talk. I'm just going back to Farley's as well. What? Thank you, Slam Talks. Have a wonderful night.